We're looking at a little turn up on a Tuesday. What do you say? It's November 7th, 2023. We're going to be talking here about Ripple and XRP. Reaching new heights is the headline that we just got from Ripple. Literally right as I was preparing this show, I checked Twitter one last time, and then I realized that Ripple literally just dropped an update on Ripple payments within the last 5 minutes. And so we're going to be breaking that live here tonight. So much to cover, which is why I'd already prepared this show. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our live updates. It's 8:30 on the West Coast, and we're still turning up. And when I say turning up, I mean we're still putting in work. We're still decoding the data, the situation at hand, breaking it down so that we can understand how to position ourselves. On a late night session, we're still after it, still showing up. And so much to cover that I already recorded an update that's going to be dropping tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's going to be 9 a.m. Eastern, right before Brad Garlinghouse is set to take stage, because I have a whole other separate video that I already had to get out of the way. Still have a lot to cover. That's why we're flipping the switch on a live. Thank you for joining me here tonight. I'm going to share this one out on Twitter real quick, and then we're going to get a party started as we have so much news to cover, so much to break down. Price action underway. We see that Bitcoin actually just turned up once again, along with XRP a little bit. Let's share this one out live now. Thank you so much for stopping by, folks. Let's get it rocking and rolling. There we have it. Okay. So, that's the thing. I have a show that's ready to drop tomorrow morning, first thing, and it's talking about XRP surpassing Bitcoin. I have another video on that. And so we've been dropping content like crazy. Over the weekend, we dropped our first tactical wealth lesson. If you want to get tapped in on that, we're talking about wealth, real estate, business, and more within the private group. That is over at zachrector.com, updated website. Go check it out. And then if you want to get tapped in with the exclusive group, the private group, that is join through the Patreon and then get access to Discord. That's where we keep it tight. That's where we keep it secure. That's where we can talk about actually building and preserving wealth. And this is the thing. With a lot of this stuff, right now we're seeing in the cryptocurrency space, this is starting to move, but we're seeing a reset in the traditional space. Equities, bonds are in the worst crash in history, and then real estate as well. I dropped a real estate update this morning, and we're trying to bring you the content on all of the asset classes right now, in particular real estate, because it impacts everybody. And at the start of the real estate segment, what did I have to get a couple pieces in on? Macroeconomic situation, because you have to understand it. It's all intertwined. But if you've been, researching this, if you've been watching it on a daily basis for over a decade, like I have been, since I was in high school, I was studying this conspiracy theory, literally. And then I find myself here approaching 30 quickly. I'm getting old these days, And what we're doing right now, it's not anything that's too sophisticated or complex. It's very basic. It's a small business operation and then media operations. And then we're focusing on what do we do with the wealth that we can, with the cash that we can stack up. We want to stack as much cash as possible. With that cash, what do we do next? And then ever since I've been making content over the last 2 years, I get folks approaching me with over $1 million net worth every single day that want to have a conversation. I'm not here to be anybody's financial advisor. You understand that. But I'm here to have a chat and run through ideas, and I'm glad to share my opinion, right? And everything that I've done has been in an effort of the most transparency as someone who can actually connect with the real person, whether you're just getting started or whether you already got the M's in the bank account, like the kids say. That's fantastic. We can't be doing the same program that we've been doing during the cheapest interest rates in the history of mankind. Now that the Fed has rug pulled us at the fastest pace in history, we might have to pivot. We might have a new normal, as they say nowadays, right? So without further ado, let's get into the update. If you appreciate what we do here on a daily basis, if you can just show me some love, that's all I ask. And if you want to get tapped in, like I said, I'm not here to show you anything. I have my own program. I have my own deal in my own community. That's it. And we got some affiliates down below for precious metals, crypto exchanges, and wallets. Resources for the community. Get tapped in with us. And I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Let's run it up. Without further ado, our cryptocurrency market cap is at $35,000 332. Sorry, that's the Bitcoin price, not market cap. 35,332 for your Bitcoin, 1884 for Ethereum, and XRP at 68 cents. Overall cryptocurrency market cap at 1.33 trillion. Roger that. Bitcoin chart, 4-hour chart, back up within the last little bit here to finish off the day. You see this one right here, back up to 35,872. Basically 35,900. Look at that, 3589. We're pulling the 3589 on this one. Sure enough. Bitcoin cooling off back down to 35,320 here. This is Qcoin 4-hour. We're watching XRP. Caught a little something too, back up to about 69 cents. But we have cooled off since running up to 73 cents yesterday. XRP just taking the show yesterday. That pump to 73 cents was exciting. But you guys saw that I came in and I don't, celebrate anything yet at a 73, at a little pump. I know some folks in the comment, oh, you guys are freaking out over a 10% gain. We're not freaking out, man. We're just having fun, enjoying the show. And we're getting started with something. And, the sad part is I would love to actually just celebrate and have a good time. But I have to be the bad guy that shows up and says, hey guys, I think we're in the middle of a bull trap rally. And I think that that's what's taking place for stocks right now too, as we've seen. The DXY did run back up here lately. And we're taking a look at this thing back up to basically 105,782. Yeah, basically back up to almost 106 after the DXY had a big correction back down to this 105 level. But we're watching this thing as it moves sideways right now over the last couple 4-hour sticks here. Okay, so we're hanging out at 105 for the DXY. And what happened today was Bitcoin and XRP cryptocurrency was kind of moving sideways. But then towards the end of the day, it had that run up. Had a little bit of a run up back up to nearly 36,000, which was achieved on the 1st of November. And ever since, we've kind of been watching this market move sideways at basically the 35K level for Bitcoin. And it's very interesting. Right now, we are seeing that the UK Brent oil crushed all the way back down to 81 bucks. And the thing I like about this is they're trading this all day. It still blows my mind that we don't have 24/7 trading for every single commodity and asset on this planet. What are we doing? Let's get it going. And this is the thing about the Brent crude oil and some of these worldwide benchmarks and the DXY, these currency markets, they're trading almost all the time. And they're starting to move the stock market to 24/7 too. But anyways, side point, I digress. $81 for UK oil. We were just at 95 bucks. Remember, just back here in October, we were at 95 bucks per barrel. And now we're off down to 81 bucks per barrel. And this is after the news that we just got production cuts. And my thinking is that oil and bond traders are calling that this recession is here. Right. This is the call that they're making, is that the recession is here. And so there's a big sell-off on oil, and then the 2-year, the 10-year, and the bonds right now over the past couple of days. But we'll continue to watch that. Let's get into the current events, folks. Internet and calls of millions of Australians affected and down. Authorities say they're investigating possible cyber attack as trains and infrastructure disrupted in Australia. So here you have it. We were called crazy, for being little preppers, for having a little deal, making sure that we could handle 10 days of darkness. And sure enough, every single day we're reporting on some sort of cyber attack, some sort of systems down. There's some sort of glitch every single day. Over the weekend, it was the banks that were down, right? And we're just trying to live. We're just trying to function. But we see here that the systems are under attack. And the setup is here. We covered this one. Korean stocks crash the day after political short selling ban. So yesterday, we covered how they were going to ban short selling on the Korean stock market. And sure enough, the last time the SEC actually did this in 2008, the market continued down after that. And so this is what we were expecting. And sure enough, the Korean stock market, this is South Korea, by the way, the stocks crash day after political short selling ban. So once again, they're trying to stop the traditional market from crashing. But as you can see, It's already underway. It's already well underway. And right now, this is the bitter pill to swallow right now for America. And this is the situation that we're trying to avoid. I'm going to run through a couple points on the United States right now. This hurts me to talk about when I see the 401ks getting hit, when I see Main Street economy getting squeezed. This actually pains me because I'm a Main Street small business owner here in the United States of America, just trying to make it too. And so I have sympathy, but at the same time, I knew that we were due for a correction and that we got a little fat, right? We have some fat to trim off of this economy, and that's what's taking place right now. So we see that Americans now owe 1.08 trillion on their credit cards, according to a new report on household debt. And it gets worse, right? Because we see that consumer credit has been stalling. Revolving credit card debt flat. I paused there for a second because I was reading Brenda's comment about my shirt. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Yeah. Fresh new shirt tonight for you guys. This is the problem though. Consumer credit stalling, revolving credit card debt flat, credit card interest rates record high, personal savings near all-time low. This is why I say progress for Powell and the suits is pain for Main Street. This is what's taking place in the real economy back home. And it's shown right here. This is breaking today. Total U.S. household debt rises by $230 billion in the third quarter of this year to a record $17.29 trillion. So when we say this time it's different, don't worry. No, this time it's different. You should be praying that we live, right? Because this is record breaking. Household debt has risen to $17 trillion. Breakdown of the large categories: mortgage debt, a white picket fence, American dream. 126 billion is how much we grew, and we have a total of 12.14 trillion mortgage debt here in the United States of America. Auto loans, and boy, as the auto loan delinquency started to go nuts. Levels that we haven't seen since the great financial crisis on the auto loan delinquencies as well. It rises by 30 billion in Q3 to 1.6, or sorry. I was reading student loans. Auto loans rise by 13 billion to 1.6 trillion. Student loans rise by 30 billion to 1.6 trillion. Credit card debt up 48 billion to 1.08 trillion. By the way, now your student loans are due. Biden's student loan forgiveness got shut down, and you guys saw that deal. He still did the workaround. And so there are still some folks that are going to be able to get the student loan forgiveness. Good luck. God bless. Hope it works out. But you're seeing that the student loan payments are now due. 1.6 trillion, auto loans 1.6 trillion, credit card debt surpassing that. And the credit card debt is now over $1 trillion and continues to grow by 48 billion last quarter. And we see that the mortgage debt right now, 12.14 trillion. The problem is that as I've been reporting, Americans lost the most amount of wealth last year. When you compare them with the rest of the world, we lost $5.9 trillion worth of net worth. And it's very simple how they calculate the net worth. And the big drop was in the equities, the bonds, and the real estate that Americans held. And for a lot of us, a lot of us are watching this real estate deal. I want to be very clear before I move on, because I dropped a real estate update this morning, and I want to be clear on my position. There is a crash that's already being confirmed in the commercial real estate sector. That's separate from residential real estate, which is still going through a boom, which is still the biggest bubble that we've ever seen in the U.S. real estate market, taking place in some markets. If there's not enough supply, there's way too much demand. I covered in the update at the very end, it was the last data point that I covered. I covered how bad it was in commercial real estate, how bad it is in the macroeconomic situation. But then I shared an example of a house in Virginia suburbs for 30-minute commute outside of DC that had 13 offers over the $900,000 listing price, and it ends up selling for $1.125 million. So it's over $150,000 over asking price, a bidding war at 13 offers. But folks miss the point, and they think that I'm just like a salty millennial that's mad that I didn't, build some equity in real estate. That's not the situation at all. I don't complain about my situation at all. I'm blessed. I'm fine being a renter right now. I am ready to snipe a deal when it comes along. We're in the middle of negotiation right now. We're doing deals right now. Nothing, this isn't stopping us raising rates at the fastest pace in history and back up to 8%. And as I stated in the real estate update today, I'm not running with the assumption that I'm going to be able to refinance next year, that I'm going to be able to refinance at, half the rates that we're at right now, right? We're back up to 7 and 8%, depending on where you're getting capital, right? And this is the collapse of the real estate. This is the collapse of the equities. But for me, I'm just more concerned about the folks that their nest egg, their main net worth was in their real estate and in their 401k equities. And that's the case for most Americans. And so it's just data that Americans lost nearly $6 trillion worth of net worth last year. And if you actually had to mark to market, we always talk about, it's now, the prediction just came out. It's actually being confirmed. Over 650 billion of unrealized losses for the banks in America. I was understating it. Folks think that I'm like doom and gloom or FUD, or I was understating it. It's worse. 650 billion is now the estimate for unrealized losses at the banks. And so if they had to market that, they're down 650 billion. And that's the same thing with the US real estate market. If folks had to market or sell their property, they wouldn't be getting what they think, their property was worth last year, what folks think their property is worth, as I'm seeing price cuts throughout my county, throughout my market. And I can only speak on my market. And that was the main point takeaway from my real estate update. And I've been making this very clear on all of the real estate updates, but a lot of folks miss this point, is that not all markets are created equal. So I'm not a salty millennial that wants to be the first time home buyer, and I'm just mad that rates are up and, that houses are more expensive. I'm not complaining at all. I'm so excited for this real estate investment opportunity, right? And I'm patient. and so this is my perspective from the real estate deal. And this is the fact of the matter is I've been trying to have conversations about real estate because it's an asset class that impacts everyone. So whether you're a renter and you just want to build out an investment portfolio, whether you do own a couple houses, got a little portfolio rolling, or whether you're a big time hitter, we've been surrounding ourselves with some folks that are still doing massive deals in real estate. So there's plenty of opportunity right now. And this is the same thing I've been saying in business as we've been reporting on business filings, bankruptcy filings are up in a massive way this year. And that's continued out throughout this year, right? So right now is our opportunity if we understand how to move in these asset classes. When it comes to equities, I shared this tweet out on X, I guess is what it's called. I'm still not used to calling it X. I shared this one out today, though. 75% of Warren Buffett's equity portfolio is in just 5 stocks per CNBC. And I retweeted it out and I said, when folks ask me why I'm not invested in 20 different cryptocurrencies, that's exactly it. Right. And so I don't do the diversification program to a huge extent. I have a few cryptocurrencies. That's it. When I look at the equities opportunities as well, I'm looking to get as close to the source as possible. And what I mean by that is Series A, Series B, like getting in at least at the bare minimum pre-IPO. And then we're looking at the traditional market. There are some plays, classic companies that pay off significant or solid dividends. I'm not going to say significant. I mean, let's be real here. There are some dividend paying companies that are all right to have. And the reason why I want to talk about the equities, just like I want to talk about real estate, is because so many people have the 401k retirement accounts and they're trying to figure out what to do. They're frustrated with their money manager, with your financial advisor, with whoever's managing your money. And they're telling you that it's all A-OK, everything's fine, that we took a 10% haircut last year, a 20% haircut last year. And for me, I think that a lot of folks have done this with crypto. They've done this with their, equities if they do have a portfolio there. But I see this in crypto for sure, where folks are throwing, just money across the board here and seeing what sticks. And the problem is that worked during the speculation run. But I think that we're entering the new phase of utility. And so this is why I'm not diversifying amongst 20 different meme coins and cryptos and NFTs and stuff. Some might call it crap, if you want to know how I really feel about a lot of it. But this is why I'm focused. I have, about a five positions too. And you guys know how heavy I am in XRP. And, it's just a very simple program that I'm in right now. And it's a program that's different from a lot of what's being preached on the Wall Street situation. Now, U.S. Treasury official says that President Biden administration wants new powers from Congress to crack down on crypto. To reiterate the point I was just making on why I'm not invested in a bunch of this crap is because the SEC is going to come kill a lot of this, as they just came and they arrested the founders of SafeMoon, because it's not just that you did an unregistered securities offering. It's not just a little slap on the wrist fine. It's you committed fraud too. So the Department of Justice and FBI, they're going to have a field day. And with Biden, this U.S. Treasury official saying that Biden wants new powers from Congress to crack down on crypto. Well, how about new regulations and a new understanding and new laws passed by Congress or elected officials that are supposed to be passing laws like this, supposed to be providing clarity on markets like this. And then we let the regulators go enforce it. And the SEC has decided to go on their own tirade of suing and seeing how far they get. And this is the mentality that the reports that we're getting at the SEC right now. If they're not losing cases or getting turned away or rejected by the courts, by judges, they're not pushing hard enough and they're not filing enough lawsuits. That's the metrics that they're running with right now. While they're collecting record amounts of fines and disgorgement and penalties. And we're supposed to be entering the next crypto bull run, right? Yay, let's go have a good time. And I think that we are. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a perma bear. I am so bullish on this thing. But when we get reports like this, that President Biden wants to come in and kill it, we know Gary Gensler wants to come in and kill it. And meanwhile, we get to look at countries around the world that are doubling down and moving in on it. Swiss National Bank puts CBDC into production for bond transactions. We're in the right place. We're right there where we need to be. This is a new asset class that is going to be growing by tens of trillions of dollars over the next decade to come. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see. And we have invested in real world utility. And we see this time and time again. And of course, it's not enough for Brad to be taking stage here at DC FinTech Week. It's not enough for XRP to have clarity in Dubai now. And the Ripple's Swell conference is going to be taking over the city. That's not enough. In tomorrow's update, you guys are going to see that I covered how one of the biggest banks in Germany just signed on to a deal with Medico. And we weren't done. That's why I said I had to go live here tonight. Wrath of Kahneman sharing this one. Ripple and ODL user FOMOPay has obtained a MSO license in Hong Kong, planning to launch payment and remittance services to meet the global payment and collection needs of corporate customers there. FOMO has made a number of moves this year. You bet they have, folks. Take a look at this one from CoinTime right here. You see this one. We have FOMOPay obtains Hong Kong money service operator license. That's what the MSO license is. Money service operator. This is from the Hong Kong Customs. But that's not it, folks. The company plans to launch payment and remittance services to meet the global payment and collection needs of corporate customers and has already set up an office in Hong Kong. FOMOPay raised $13 million in funding last August, led by Jump Crypto. Prior to this, it had already been awarded several financial service licenses by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is another regulator that has already given a license to Ripple over there as well too. If you recall, right? Singapore already loves Ripple. Ripple already set up another hub in Singapore, talking about taking over Dubai, talking about taking over DC. We are also taking over Singapore. Now, we also have the deal with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. Now, we just announced the 6th CBDC last week, National Bank of Georgia. Are we having a good time yet? And we are pumping right now too. Absolutely love to see it. And to finish off this point right here, it is one of the first companies in Singapore to be approved by the Monetary Authority of Singapore to provide digital payment token services. So FOMOPay, already an ODL user, they've already fired it up. And now we see that they're moving on into Hong Kong and they're moving into the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So basically, it's Ripple and their partners are just taking over these corridors one by one, getting full approval and green light from the regulators, and they're good to go. Instead of getting sued like they did here in the United States by their own government, where the company is based out of, where they're trying to be transparent and work with all the regulators and do everything on the up and up, one of the most legitimate, transparent industry leaders in that area, they get sued by our own government, of course. And they really had the nerve to sue Brad and Chris for aiding and abetting. And this is why I'm saying tomorrow, right? We wake up tomorrow morning and we get to see Brad Garlinghouse starts off DC FinTech Week day 2, right? And that is, or I guess, has it been? It started yesterday. My apologies, right? But he gets to start off the session tomorrow, and then 3 hours later, Gary Gensler has to come on stage in complete shame after he just had to surrender those charges against Brad and Chris for aiding and abetting. That was completely ridiculous. And then to go after all of us in the secondary market, and the actions, what they caused was all of the exchanges to delist it. And this is why we've been saying that the damages are absolutely massive, but that is okay because our time is coming. Price discovery is coming for XRP. Pumping to 73 cents is nothing. We're talking about going to $7 and beyond this coming bull run. But then as we look at the transition, fourth industrial revolution, full realization of this utility, and we start to get even just 10 to 20% of these markets tokenized and moving on DLT, we are literally talking about tens of trillions of dollars. And it's going to happen so quickly because when you get these players and when you get these international monetary agreements, this is the moment that we're going through that hasn't been done in 80 years. As we were talking about with Judy Shelton, she was hanging out in the gold room where the Bretton Woods deal was done in 1944 to basically make the US dollar the reserve currency, back it by gold. And now we are looking to return to a gold anchored. And that was the key part, is it wasn't gold backed 1-to-1, it was gold anchored. And it was $35 to 1 ounce. And gold traded at about $40 per ounce for decades after that, leading up until when? The 70s, when Nixon took us off the gold standard. And then over that next decade, it did 2,200% from $35-$40 all the way up to about $900. And then during the 2000s, we see that gold goes from a couple $100 all the way up to 1,900. Right now, we have triple tapped on the almost the 2100 level. We basically, 2050 to 2080, we're approaching that $2,100 level. We've triple tapped that. Where do we go over the next decade for gold? I'm here for the ride. Where do we go over the next decade for XRP? I can't wait to enjoy this journey with you guys, right? That's where we're at as far as historical shift. This is something that we haven't seen in 50 plus years when Nixon took us off the gold standard, and 80 plus years ago when we got the Bretton Woods deal. And now what does everybody want? Everybody wants a level playing field. And you have neutral currencies like gold, neutral commodities, currencies. They play a role as both. They have additional utilities outside of just being a monetary utility. And we see XR Peaky Blinder showing up. If you know, you know. Good morning, everyone. Midnight again. Keep it rolling, brother. XR Peaky, we roll late. We got to sometimes. Too much news to cover. And I still have a couple more to share with you guys. Let's go. As I stated, tomorrow, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. Tomorrow, I shared this article from 4 years ago. Crypto Eddie was holding on to this one, where SBI CEO Yoshitaka Kitao talks about XRP replacing Bitcoin and becoming the #1 crypto asset. That video is going to be dropping tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Now, we also saw Ripple Swell Conference got started. I'm going to play this clip here, but I think I'm going to mute it because I don't want to get the copyright on their music. But look at Ripple Swell, folks. I think that this conference is going to be absolutely massive. They're setting this thing up, and it is going live. Brad takes the stage tomorrow, and then he hops on the jet to head on over to Keynote and hold it down on day 2 of Ripple Swell Conference, but it already did get started today. Looks like a good time. Looks like a good time. Cannot wait to see it. And to finish off the segment here, Emi Yoshikawa, okay, VP Strategy and Operations at Ripple. She tweeted this one out in Japanese. I had to translate it, but she says, I've been working with Ripple for the past 7 years, and I feel like we're finally getting some tailwind in many ways. This is our moment for XRP to take this number one spot. Does it happen this bull run? Maybe not. That's fine. But if I had to make my bet on over the next decade, you know what bet I've made. I don't care to own any Bitcoin. And I'll just let you guys, I'll leave you with that on far as what I hold. Now, as I was saying, though, at the start of this episode, this just came out. So I wanted to cover this post here, too. Introducing Ripple Payments, the next evolution of Ripple Payments product, delivering a licensed end-to-end solution for financial institutions and small to medium enterprises with 70-plus payout markets, expanded crypto liquidity options, integration with the XRP Ledger DEX, and much more. Let's take a look here at what this was just shared here. Ripple Payments reaches new heights. That's why I titled this session here tonight, Ripple XRP reaches new heights. November 7th from Team Ripple. This was just dropped right before I fired up the live show tonight. They say time and time again, traditional payment rails have fallen short and businesses have continued to turn to modern solutions to fill these gaps. More than 80% of global finance leaders say they are likely to begin using digital assets in their businesses in the next 3 years. Ripple's vision has always been to move value as seamlessly as information moves today. And a core tenet of this lies in streamlining cross-border payments using blockchain-enabled solutions. To help realize this, Ripple continues to fine-tune its payment solution with expert knowledge gained from more than a decade of experience serving enterprise customers worldwide. A number of payment announcements were made at Ripple's annual conference, Swell. So I'm thinking that they already dropped this. They dropped this literally, like I said, how long have I been ranting tonight? For 33 minutes so far. Okay, so they put this out 30 minutes ago, and Ripple Swell Conference just got started, and they're already saying that there have been a number of announcements made. So we're going to be watching this one closely, as we are going to be coming back tomorrow too. You already know we're going to be coming back live tomorrow to cover what all got announced at Swell, because they've already put this out, this press release about, an update on Ripple Payments. A number of announcements were made at Ripple's annual conference. This is like a, article from the future. Swell, to show how Ripple Payments can support a variety of payments needed for businesses 24/7, 365 across regions and currencies. First off, Ripple has received money transmitter licenses across numerous U.S. jurisdictions and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, as I was saying, allowing Ripple Payments to offer its products and services within those jurisdictions. 2, with single onboarding, customers are now able to access nearly 100% of global payout coverage to more than 70 payout markets through Ripple's international payments network. And number 3, a new integration with the XRP Ledger's native decentralized exchange will buttress global liquidity options for Ripple customers, streamlining customer onboarding into new markets and improving product performance. This sounds like basically what they're looking to offer through Liquidity Hub, right? Number 4, through newly expanded liquidity options, Ripple Payments can fulfill customer liquidity needs on demand 24/7, 365. And as you already know, we have that new partnership with Uphold that was just announced. Rocket Fuel, a payment solutions provider for merchants sending or accepting payments via crypto or fiat, is the first customer to use this newest iteration of Ripple Payments. Okay, so this is an announcement that was just made. I'm reading this for the first time, folks. Which, by the way, thank you for joining me, a late night session. It's already 9 o'clock on the West Coast. It's already midnight on the East Coast. Thank you for the real ones that are here with me live. And for those of you that are tuning in after the fact, God bless you too. I appreciate the love and support. Cheers, everyone. This is a fresh announcement. Rocket Fuel, the first customer to use the new iteration of Ripple Payments. By leveraging Ripple's expansive payout network, Rocket Fuel can respond to customer demand for direct payments in multiple payout currencies. Quote, For too long, the financial industry has suffered from using antiquated technologies, resulting in high costs, lost revenue, and inefficient and unpredictable processes. Blockchain and digital currency applications provide an avenue to radically improve these shortcomings, said Rocket Fuel CEO Peter Jensen. Ripple Payments supports our products, allowing us to serve our customers globally in a dramatically more effective way than the legacy financial system. As Bank of America said themselves, this is going to give institutions a competitive advantage. That was the direct quote that we got, right, from Ripple Swell last year. Ripple Swell last year, one of the big announcements from that conference was that Bank of America was eager, waiting, and excited to use XRP's ODL, or on-demand liquidities, XRP, for a quote-unquote competitive advantage. And this is what we're seeing right now with Rocket Fuel, the first customer to use this newest iteration of Ripple Payments. This is any liquidity you want, instantaneously, 24/7, 365, here you go. It's going to be the best liquidity in the world, especially after that AMM goes live on the XRPL, which is why Ripple was one of the first validators to flip the switch on the AMM vote. And I'm going to, after I finish reading this, I'm going to check what the updated tally is on AMM right now. Now, last year, machine learning capabilities were integrated to proactively manage the liquidity needs of customers and support a variety of transaction types like internal treasuries, remittances, and B2B payments. So that's what we call treasury flows, right? And that was announced last year. At Ripple, this is a quote, at Ripple, we've long known that payments are unequivocally the killer app for digital assets. Achieving that vision requires a seamless experience for institutional users to solve real-world problems, added Brendan Berry, head of payment products at Ripple. With more businesses than ever seeing real utility in blockchain, our goal is to provide our customers with optionality, speed, ease of use, and compliance all in one comprehensive product. A one-stop shop for liquidity. That's what Ripple is becoming. And it's on the back of the XRPL, but they've also made the relationships and built out the payout network for fiat currencies and for stable coins, every other cryptocurrency as well. And I believe that the best liquidity will be sourced from the AMM once that goes live as well. As the leading provider of enterprise blockchain solutions for finance, Ripple has remained in lockstep with expectations of global businesses. Customer satisfaction has and will continue to drive the evolution of Ripple Payments for years to come. Contact our sales team today to learn how to accelerate your business with frictionless global payments. We're in the right spot. I tell you what, folks, we're in it, right? The killer app for digital assets has always been payments. And this is what Ripple's been focused on, XRP being the heartbeat of Ripple, and the partnerships, what they've built out with their liquidity is on their way to building out the best liquidity through a one-stop shop solution for enterprises and institutions. And they're going to be helping the enterprises and institutions and banks that service the retail too. So this is where you heard that we want to put a dent in the universe. We want to serve all 7 billion people. This is how it's achieved, because Ripple doesn't need to have a relationship with you or me necessarily, the end retail user that's just trying to send a payment. But what they have a relationship with is DZ Bank, one of the biggest banks out of Germany, is now going to be custodying their assets at Medico. And then maybe they might get introduced to the company called Ripple, right? And we see HSBC tokenizing real world gold, right? Tokenized gold being offered for their institutional clients. You're seeing Ripple working with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority to work on tokenizing real estate. And so this is the tokenization of all of the assets, and the utility is coming to the XRPL to be able to enable this. What's so exciting for me is we're on the back of a complete victory. The SEC has had to surrender and back down in complete defeat. And now we're watching the additional utility coming to the XRP Ledger as well. Now, let's get into a Q&A session. Drop your comments down below. If you appreciate this update, make sure you smash that thumbs up. And I'm going to hang out here for a little bit longer with you guys while I enjoy a little bit of some secret sauce here. And I'm going to take a look here at the updated tally on the XRP scan. But then drop your comments, questions down below, and let's have a little Q&A session. What do you guys say? Turning up on a Tuesday. God bless you guys. Let's look at it. Amendments. We're checking the tally right now. Yeah, and we're waiting for that settlement too. Absolutely. So this is xrpscan.com. If you don't know about this website, you can check this out to understand everything that's taking place on the XRP ledger as far as the metrics, the validators, and the amendments that are being voted on. Right now, we see that we have 5 amendments. We have reduced offers, which that's going to pass. We're already at a 74. So this has actually grown substantially, guys. This is really good to see. This is a really good update. I wasn't even planning on covering this, but here we are. Take a look at this, folks. This is really good. We need an 80% consensus to change the network, and we have to reach that 80% threshold and hold it for 2 weeks for it to be a confirmed amendment. So we already have 26 votes in favor of reduced offers. This is at 74%. This is well by far in the lead at 74% consensus. We are going to see this amendment, and this is a fix. And this is similar to the NF token remit as well. This is another fix, and it's a little bit different than the XRP fees, but that's another one that they're looking to pass as well. But we can see here that we are already at 74% consensus for reduced offers. We're at 68% consensus for NF token remit. And then we are at 54% in third place. We are at the clawback amendment, 54% with 19 votes. And remember, the clawback is so important because that's going to allow for more issued stable coins. And even for a CBDC, right, you need the ability to claw it back. And for a lot of payments, you need the ability to claw it back. So when real institutions, when real banks, when central banks want to issue on the XRPL, they're going to need this clawback function. That's going to be a necessity to be in compliance with regulations. And so this is so good that we're going to be able to check that box on clawback. And if you don't want to, and remember, let's be very clear, clawback does not apply to XRP. You can never claw back XRP, right? Mainnet XRP cannot be clawbacked. It cannot be frozen. And there already is the ability to freeze issued assets. If you issue an asset, if you issue a token, and that's what this amendment is about, is issued assets or tokens on top of the XRP ledger, right? And so any Joe Blow could issue a meme coin on the XRPL, and they could have a clawback, and they'd have the ability to take back your assets. But that's the whole thing with the issued assets, is that you have to do your due diligence, and you have to understand who the issuer of that issued asset is. If it's a legitimate company, if it's like I'm suggesting here soon, we're about to see, and we already saw this with Plow, right? They went and took their national stablecoin, the Plow stablecoin, and they issued it on mainnet XRPL, where we could all watch, the whole world could watch folks spending their Plow stablecoin because it was issued on the XRPL and it was on the mainnet XRP, transparent for everybody to see. Is that the future financial system? Probably not. We probably are going to have them interoperating with the mainnet, but a lot of the transactions will have to be hidden. A lot of the transactions will have to have clawback capabilities, and this comes from all the stable coins and additional tokens that will be issued on top of the XRPL. The clawbacks amendment is going to be very important to that, and it's in third place right now as far as consensus, at 54% consensus right now for clawback. That's a big deal. Now, after that, in fourth place is XRP fees. And then finally, last place with only 11 votes so far, which I saw we did get a couple more votes over the weekend that brought it from 9 up to 11. And I had a good time with Casino Coins Daniel today. I tweeted out at him and I said, is Daniel still holding back his vote and keeping us all from being rich? And I was just joking. I like giving Daniel crap. As you guys know, I already, bet him on settlement and stupid stuff like that. But I have a good going back and forth here with Daniel. And so I had to give him a little bit of crap because he's still holding out on his AMM vote. And he's one of the validators, guys. This is literally up to 35 validators that make up the UNL, the DUNL, the default, unified ledger. I forget what it's called, UNL. That's the 35 validators that actually matter, right? Now, the other validators do matter. All validators matter. Somebody should put that on a t-shirt. All validators matter. Oh boy, we're sipping something tonight, aren't we? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. All validators do matter, but when it comes to actually changing the ledger, the consensus, that 80% consensus needs to be achieved by those 35 on the DUNL list. And that DUNL list is confirmed by the XRP Ledger Foundation and by Ripple. Now, that's where we're at right now with the XRP Ledger amendments. Is we see that we have 5 right now. All 5 of these are going to pass. It's just a matter of time. And some of the validators have been holding out their vote on the AMM because they don't know if the ledger can handle it, and they got a couple other excuses. It mostly comes down to politics, and it's some validators, it is the validators. It's a little alliance of Daniel and some of his buddies who basically launched the sidechain. They were mad that hooks didn't get brought to mainnet XRPL, and they were mad that they had to go launch their Zahao sidechain, which now they're all excited about it. Now they're all happy. Everybody's happy now, right? And David made it very clear that David Schwartz, the creator of the XRP Ledger, one of 3, CTO of Ripple right now, he said very simply that AMMs are going to be handled by the XRPL no problem, right? Meanwhile, the hooks, you get much more sophisticated smart contracts, and it really is going to add a lot more congestion to the network versus a simple AMM, which just adds another feature to the DEX. We already have a DEX that's built into the XRPL. This is what makes the XRPL so great amongst all the other coins, is that the XRP Ledger is got a native DEX built into the layer 1. You're not on Ethereum layer 2s, right? There's no AMMs built into Ethereum layer 1. It's all on layer 2s. And what we're seeing right now is XRPL is going to get one of the best mainnet layer 1 AMMs. And the XRPL has the advantages that separate it from the rest of the space too, with 3 to 5 second instant settlements at no fees. When you add the AMM to it, it's just another feature on top of the DEX that makes it more efficient. It will get more throughput and the liquidity will be built up. But if David and the team at Ripple have done tests, they've done some trials, and they believe that it's good to go. So that's why I say eventually all 5 of these are going to get passed. There's a little, testing phase right now for the AMM, a little bit of back and forth, but eventually all 5 of these will be passed. And this is so fantastic when we see that Ripple has set themselves amongst the rest of the space apart, and they're taking main stage at DC after beating the SEC, and we got a potential settlement coming up. I'm really fascinated to see what announcements come out of this swell conference. I already read off for you. We have the first bank, or that was the first institution, I guess, right? Rocket Fuel is the first customer. I don't know. Is Rocket Fuel a payment solutions provider for merchants? So it's a payment solution provider, right? They haven't really flipped the switch with too many big banks yet. They've done a lot of proof of concepts with the Bank of England, with Bank of America, with R3. They've done tests and trials going all the way back to 2015 and earlier. But as far as actually, this is the first payment provider to go live with the newest iteration of Ripple payments. So we've had about 25% of RippleNet clients were using ODL, which settles with XRP. Then Brad Garlinghouse told us last year that basically about 50% of all of the volume was going through ODL. That was the most recent update that we got. And now we know that they've basically merged. Everything is just now Ripple payments, and you can settle anything you want. And of course, a lot of folks are taking advantage of the XRPL. And the big unveiling that we'll get to have right now is who's been stacking XRP, right? Not just who's going to start using Ripple payments, but who's added XRP to their balance sheet. And I see that Aunt Lynn dropped a super chat there, a 20 spot from Aunt Lynn. Thank you so much. Zach, please buy 30 XRP for your daughter from Aunt Lynn. Love you. Aunt Lynn, I appreciate you so much. Everything that we do is for the family. Absolutely right there with you guys. I appreciate the love and support so much. Let me get into some Q&A. What are you guys working with down below? I see MetaMan's in the chat. MetaMan, God bless him. One of the good guys. MetaMan, I see you, bro. Daniel has 100 XRP. He does, and that's because he won 100 XRP. I bet him that a settlement was going to take place in September. That didn't happen, but I was willing to put my money where my mouth was. I had a funny feeling. Didn't come through. Oh well. Everything's still at play, and I still think that a settlement's coming in very, very soon. I don't think that we get a settlement announcement at Swell, but I think that we could be getting one very soon, and I'll leave it at that. What else are we working with, guys? Appreciate you guys for stopping by. What else are we working with, family? Zach didn't like my 3D shirt comment. XRP, I didn't see it. Did you drop another one? Oh yeah, you did. We need your Magic Eye 3D shirt source. I see a Superman logo if I stare at it long enough. XRP, I appreciate the love, brother. I appreciate the love. I know this one is, you look at it, it is kind of, it's an interesting one, huh? Kind of popping. Something new. If you don't like the shirt, you can give me a thumbs down. Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. Let's give me some more Q&A. Let's go through it rapid fire. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're new here. We drop content on a daily basis. We go live every once in a while. We sip a little secret sauce with the community every once in a while. And we just try to have some fun. That's what we're here to do. And also get super rich, build a lot of wealth, and help humanity with that wealth that we're going to be creating. What a blessed opportunity, guys. What are we working with? Draw me some Q&A. Shannon, what are you talking about? I don't know what's going on. Positive vibes, absolutely. God bless you guys. Aunt Lynn says, I'd like to see a cage match between Brad and Gary. I know where my money would be. And even Brad joked about the cage match, didn't he? Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. I think that Gary would cheat in that fight, mate. Good guy Gary. He would never cheat. He would never do such a thing. He's good guy Gary. Hey, Zach, do you think the XLM will move up to top 5 in market cap in the future? You know, it's a really good question. I've never thought about that. XLM, it's so far down there. That's the thing. I think that it has... I'd have to sit down and think about that. XLM top 5. I don't have a pen on my desk. I'll use a highlighter. Got my trusty highlighter. Let's talk XLM top 5. I'm going to answer that in a separate show. Let's do an XLM update. I'm going to make a note of that. And let's talk about top 5 XLM. Could it be done? Because we talked about XRP surpassing Bitcoin. It's time to talk about XLM going top 5 on XLM. That'd be interesting to take a look at that one. My man Core Pins. I didn't even think that this was a real business. When Core Pins made it rain for the first time in the super chats, I didn't even realize that that was a legit thing. I thought that Core Pins was something crazy. I swear that corepins.com is not a sponsor of this show, but he is a good friend, and he did just drop a hundo spot. My man, my good friend, I appreciate the love and support so much. Thanks for all the updates. As always, Core Pins, God bless you. And if you need Core Pins, you know where to find them. That's crazy, man. God bless you. Corepins.com. He knows how to get some advertising, doesn't he? Huge shout out. I missed where I was at on the questions. Let me keep it rolling. You guys are rolling. You guys are rolling quick now with the questions. ISO 4217. I'll have to check that out. Listening from the Netherlands. Let me know in the chat where you guys are at. Let me know. All I've ever wanted to be in my life is a wealthy philanthropist. Aunt Lynn. Amen. God bless. Released the news in Dubai. Taifan. So we went over it. Ripple's taking over Swell conference in Dubai right now. And Brad takes stage tomorrow morning. I'm so excited for this. I'm going to be waking up early and I'm going to see if I can get the link. Has anybody been able to find the link for DC FinTech Week? I don't think that they're streaming it live, are they? Does anybody know if you can get the live link for DC FinTech Week? Because I was going to stream that tomorrow morning. Brad's going live, I think was it 9:30? maybe it was 8:30. I would have had to wake up super early. Let me know in the comments down below. Is anybody found the live stream for DC FinTech Week? But yeah, no, Thai fan, Dubai getting taken over by Ripple, DC getting taken over by Brad Garlinghouse. They're setting up a new hub over there. And then they're also just got regulatory clarity from the regulators over there in Dubai as well. It's the DICA is what it's called. And basically they're part of a group, an association of 72 plus countries within the Middle East and that region. So Ripple and XRP is getting the green light worldwide right now. And I got another video that's going to be dropping tomorrow. Like I said, I got one that it's already recorded. It's already set to drop at 6 a.m. But then I have to record another video because I have a whole other video that's going to be talking about DTCC settling $2.5 quadrillion per year. Don't call me a crazy quadrillion quantum computing QFS guy, but we are going to be moving quadrillions of dollars eventually. And the DTCC just picked up a company, Securency, and I'm going to be covering that connection tomorrow in another separate video. We're going to be dropping 2 videos tomorrow, and I might be going live again tomorrow too. We had a lot of content to put out because it's happening right now. This is the real deal. And XRP's been pumping. Stealing the show. What do you guys think? You think the XRP is going to continue that pump into tomorrow? Into the swell conference? We've seen this happen in the past where it pumps up until swell and then it rolls over. What do you guys say? What do you think about the recent viral TikTok about XRP true value about 1.5 thousand? I love going viral on TikTok, man. That app is still the most powerful thing, I swear. The only thing that's getting equally as powerful as X now. Now that X is blasting out your content organically as well, with basically a For You page. That's what made TikTok so great, was that For You page. And if you just so happen to be a content creator that started making content right at the beginning of the last bull run, it was a great time. And I kind of caught the wave. I got super lucky in that regard. And it was one video after another, and we still have the ability to go viral on TikTok too. Actually, it's pretty crazy. It's like, you just one good video, you could be at 6 and 7 figure views with ease. Twitter now has similar power, but to answer your question about 1.5 thousand XRP, yeah, I mean, I don't rule out any crazy prices for XRP. I don't think the XRP is trading at a different price on the private ledger. David Schwartz says that there is not a second price for XRP. There is not an XRP2. There is not an XRP, a separate XRP issued on the private ledger. So that's what we know of right now. As far as XRP's final price, the final timeline for XRP, I don't rule out any crazy prices, 3, 4, 5 digits. I don't rule out anything. I don't. It's a great question, though. Christy, good to see you, Christy. Good to see you. They should not regulate public good protocols. Basically, open source code should not be regulated like the XRPO. MetaMan, that's a good point. The thing that we have to distinguish is the token or the technology from the investment contract, because that's what a security offering is. In the Ripple case, Judge Torres ruled that the institutional sales were the investment contracts. It was the contracts. It wasn't the XRP. You have to be very clear about that, right? And so, yeah, going forward, we have to have the understanding that even though some of these projects are going to get taken down for their ICOs, the SEC cannot say in many of these cases that the underlying token is a security in and of itself. Because Judge Torres already ruled the XRP in and of itself is not a security. And so if a token is decentralized and, it's just like any other commodity, it's just like any other currency, it's just like any other asset, a sale on the secondary market or the underlying asset is never found to be the security. It's always the investment opportunity. It's someone packaging up something, whatever that may be, and selling it for a contract. They're selling it to somebody else and they're raising funds, they're accepting money, and that person is expecting profit based off the efforts of others. That's all it is. Very simple. 80 years of case history, And this is why the SEC has plenty of companies to go after, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the underlying token is a security. But the problem is a lot of these main companies that are building behind a token, for example, Ripple. I mean, you saw it when Ripple got sued, when Brad and Chris got sued, it killed the price of XRP. Even though XRP is completely decentralized from Ripple, it still killed it. But it's been able to bounce back. It's been able to recover. And our community is way stronger because of it. Can these other tokens survive an SEC lawsuit? No. In 90%, 99% of them, no. That's why they're going to zero, just like Brad Garlinghouse told us. Good points. Oh, I almost missed it. God, the chat's moving quick again. I'm catching up, and I see Stuart, our good friend, dropping a hundo. Shout out to MetaMan. Stuart, much love, brother. XR Peaky says, no way you have that many shirts. That's a lot of vids. Okay, you guys will get some, maybe some of you guys will laugh about this. I took a stack of shirts to the dry cleaners today, and I also have to give away some because I have some that are absolutely disgusting with sweat. You don't want to know. I've gone through some of these. We wear them out like crazy. And I try to show up and just be professional with my presentation. I mean, I ain't going to throw on the suit, but, you know, I try to, you know, at least show up presentable for you guys on a daily basis. I appreciate the love. I'm so excited, though. I did take the suits in. We are getting the suits cleaned up. We already have 2 Discord meetups lined up for January and a 3rd one coming up on the tail end of XRP Vegas. 3 Discord meetups already coming up for 2024. I'm so excited. So excited. Cannot wait to meet more folks in the family. Looks like grandma's tablecloth. That's it. That's it. That was the vibe I was going for, was grandma's tablecloth. Much love, guys. Gosh, you guys are commenting so quickly. Let me get this real quick. Let's go rapid fire. Sit up in the chair. Tyfan asks, is IOTA good? I only have a small bag on this since I am not positive for IOTA. Thank you, Zach. I hope XRP pump more. Tyfan, that's a good point. IOTA is one that I've held in the past. I can't remember if I still have it. I think, actually, no, I did sell it. What I did is I sold off my IOTA and I'd sold off some XDC along with Algorand. I took profit on Algorand over $1. And I took all that money and I put it into my trading bag. And that was my trading bag. And I've been shorting Bitcoin ever since last year. And I made a good amount of money doing that. And then I rolled it all into XRP and got off of the exchange and ran like hell because I was scared that the exchanges were going to collapse. And sure enough, a little bit after that, Qcoin found out that I was in the US and they took me off their app. So that's my trading story over the last year. And for me, IOTA is one of the coins that I actually sold at a loss last year. That's called tax loss harvesting. And so I was at a loss on that position. I sold it off, put it into trading, and I was able to, end up making some money on that. But that was a position that I actually had at one point, but I've sold out. And I will let you guys know, that's one that I do need to update on. I'm going to make a note of that. IOTA. And we need to do another XLM update as well. Antlin says, I heard that Powell will be more hawkish on this next talk. We're going to see, right, what the market does between now and December 12th through the 13th. I put out a poll. I only got like 300 votes on it, so it's not really that solid of a poll. 300 of people that follow me on X. But the consensus was pause. I asked, are we going to get a pause? Are we going to raise rates? Are we going to cut? And most folks said pause. So we'll be watching that one. That's December 12th and the 13th. And yeah, right now it looks like he's leaving it on the table, but he's already given us, the easy ride with the last two, giving us that pause. It's going to be very interesting. Will XRP be the new Bitcoin? It's going to be better than Bitcoin, Dale. Dale, that's a good question, but it's going to be better than Bitcoin. It's going to achieve more than Bitcoin. I think it's going to have a higher market cap, and it's also going to move more value over it eventually. This is what you have to remember, is that Bitcoin's already moved $100 trillion worth of value on the Bitcoin ledger since its inception. So think of that. A piece of crap network. Proof of work doesn't work. Proof of crap is what I call it, right? Proof of you know what? It's already settled $100 trillion worth of value. That's substantial. Now think of what you can do with the ledger that settles in 3 to 5 seconds at nearly no cost. And you're going to have way more issued assets. You don't have any issued assets on Bitcoin. You don't have any sort of tokenization on Bitcoin. What do there's some NFTs, right? The ordinals, the Bitcoin ordinals that got issued on the ledger that basically collapsed the thing. And there was pictures of, I'm not going to say, but you know what? There was pictures of you know what that got put as NFTs on the Bitcoin network, and it basically, stalled out and crashed the network. So I wish I was making this up, but literally memes already crashed Bitcoin. So there's really no tokenization on Bitcoin. Can't be done. Can't scale. And Lightning Network's also being a complete failure so far as well. Just found a backdoor hack on Bitcoin Lightning Network here recently as well. Little backdoor on the Bitcoin. Sure enough. Yep. The other nomad says, Zach, I promote Portugal and Luxembourg. There you go. XDC #1. Yeah, XDC's big. We love it. We love it. Stuart, good to see you. Good to see you, Stuart. Athey and Michnik valuation of XRP places XRP no less than $900 after adoption in the first phase. It's like 5 phases. I thought that the Athey Michnik model was $9. I'll have to go back and look at that. I thought that the Athey Michnik model was $9. I actually was just talking to Dion Bax, who was part of the valuation committee. You guys know the XRP buyback committee. I wasn't part of the valuation committee, but a gentleman by the name of Dion Bax, who's a scientist, he's an engineer, he was part of the valuation committee, and he put together a model, one of the models that came up with that valuation. And I don't know what his valuation model ran up XRP to. I know that the Susan Athey Michnik model was used as well. I thought that it was only $9, but I'll go back and check that. Heard a rumor that HBAR is collaborating with XRP. I haven't heard anything like that, but that'd be interesting to take a look at. When are these prices happening? Life-changing wealth, taking a life to the moon. I think that we get an opportunity here over the next 2 years, 2024 into 2025. Potential Fed pivot, election chaos though. So I'm remaining liquid with capital on the sidelines while I've already packed my bags on the suppressed assets. For me right now, I just am stacking more cash. I understand that it's being devalued. I understand that inflation's terrible. That's why I stack prepping, food, ammo, a little bit of freedom seeds. You know what I'm talking about. I got a little garden just to keep me busy. Not that I need something to keep me busy, but to let me go ground out in the yard. Something to slow down a little bit. And I like to have a little fresh veggies in the yard. Other than that, cash, silver for savings, and then XRP. And then right now I'm looking at private equity and real estate are the next moves. But equities are just beginning to correct. And even in the private equity markets, we're starting to see liquidity dry up there too. So the valuations are even coming down right now on private equity opportunities that I was considering last year. The prices have actually come down, since last year. And this is kind of a buy the dip opportunity on some private equity potential as well. Real estate is correcting right now too. And so that's the other thing that I'm looking to deploy my capital towards. Shannon says, I'm literally dying laughing. What are you guys laughing about? I don't know what you guys are laughing about. Every morning, every day. Oh, every day you guys are calculating your bags. Yeah, I know you guys. I was listening to Grant Cardone talk today. He was just interviewed on Vlad TV. and he was talking about how Grant's crazy. He had 2 helicopters, and he just traded in the jet. Now he has some big G, 650 or whatever it's called. And then he had 2 helicopters, but he sold the other one. So now he just has 1 helicopter. And he was talking about how much that thing costs. And I'm just like, golly, man. $8 million on the chopper. And he says it costs about $500,000 per year to run. And Vlad asked him how much it costs to fill up the jet and how much it costs to fill up the helicopter. And Grant says, I don't know. He doesn't keep track, which he probably doesn't want to know because it's probably so much dang money. But yeah, this is, I like to dream too. I like to have some fun, but Kobe killed the helicopters for me. No pun intended, rest in peace. But did anybody else feel that same way after the chopper incident there? I know choppers are still relatively safe, but for me right now, in all seriousness, like I said, I'm looking at equity and real estate, and I'm in build. I'm in build for the next decade, and then chill a little. But I'm always going to be in the game, and for me, it's just head down right now for the next decade. You guys are moving so quick through the comments. Let me go through. Let me catch up. If you listen to Grant Cardone, I pray. Colin, that's the thing is I don't listen to Grant anymore, really. I just was kind of entertained by this interview. I was entertained. I was inspired. I mean, the dude, he just beat the lawsuit. That was interesting. Thanks for the shout out, Zach. You rock. The other nomad. I appreciate you, my friend. When is the prediction for the pullback on crypto? I don't know if you're making fun of me because I was talking that we were in the middle of a bull trap rally and I've been waiting for this thing to correct. I'm watching. I'm watching. With XDC being announced as the native token for R3 and tokenizing trillions with 40 billion supply, it seems likely. So XDC's core to settler, I should say this. Core to settler is blockchain agnostic, but R3 did at one time, used XRP first, by the way. They used XRP first for core to settler, but then they moved and they did make XDC was kind of the chosen, but core to settler is blockchain agnostic, but we've been talking about XDC for a while. XDC's definitely in the game. And the trade finance space is about a $19 trillion market. Brenda, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Aunt Lynn says, I haven't been in the chopper since Stevie Ray Vaughan died. Are you kidding? I'm excited, guys. Tomorrow, I got 2 videos. They're going to be coming your way, and I might also be going live too. Can you guys let me know? I've missed your guys' comments. Did anybody get a live link to DC FinTech Week? Does anybody have the live link to DC FinTech Week? Let me know in the comments down below. Ugur Koken with the 15 from Australia. Best regards from Australia. My friend, I appreciate that so much. God bless all you guys in the land down under. I'm so excited that you guys are having the Gold Coast Conference. Are any of you guys going to the Gold Coast Conference out there in Australia? I think it's in March. I've already gotten so many requests for next year, and yeah, we have a big travel year next year. We're going to be bouncing. We're going to be showing up. So I have a little, I would be lying if I said I didn't have any FOMO about missing out on Ripple swell, but Dubai's a long ways away. Dubai's a long ways away. So, yeah. But yeah, the Gold Coast Conference is going to be taking place in Australia. I've been invited to that one. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to that one, but that's so awesome for the community down there. That's what's so beautiful about this community. It's worldwide. It truly is. We have folks from all over the place. And folks in countries where you actually have regulatory clarity too. What a bonus. XRP's, you're not having to fight your own government. Dominic Mercury says, when's Vancouver? That's a good question, and I got an answer. Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. That's January 21st and 22nd. Private Discord meetup might be happening, may or may not. I cannot confirm. Vancouver. Huge shout out to our friends up north. Private meeting might be occurring. We have two set up. We have two. I can't say the location of the other one, but we got two set up. We got two for January, and we're going to do another one on the back of XRP Vegas, of course. Round 2, XRP Vegas. It's going to be so much fun. Cannot wait. And we got more on the way, too. That's just the first half of the year. That's just the first few months. Vancouver, Canada. When is the next Las Vegas? We had it in May last year, or this year. I think that we're going to do May again. I got to get the update from Brad Kimes. Mr. Brad. What a guy. What a legend. What an absolute legend. God bless him. XRP Vegas 2024. Shannon, I know. So much fun. Ray says, I tagged you on the FinTech link in Discord. Ray, my man. That's why the Discord community, they got my back there. Ray, my brother. God bless you, my friend. Okay, so if that's the case, expect me to be live streaming or probably dropping a video right after he goes live. That's going to be an exciting one to watch. Brad Greenhouse at DC FinTech Week. He's starting off tomorrow's session. He's starting off the day. And then Gary Gensler goes live at like 11:30, I believe. Stuart showing up, another 1776. It's warm in March on the Gold Coast. I know. Australia looks so beautiful. It also looks scary. You guys got all sorts of creatures down there. All sorts of crazy stuff going on. I mean, golly. You guys are crazy, aren't you? Down there in Australia. A different breed. What a people. It's been a pleasure, guys. We will go down to Australia at one point. Definitely need to go to... I want to check out Singapore. That's on the list. South America, I love. I love South America. And then we've done a couple others. Europe is interesting. I'd love to see the history, of course. But yeah, it's really... I'm more of a travel for business exclusively. Sometimes we got to go hang out and get some downtime too. We'll do that too. I guess I shouldn't be lying. I like to combine the leisure with the business travel too. Extend the stay another day or two. Do a private Discord meetup, a little extra something. God, it's going to be so much fun, guys. We have so much momentum going into next year. Oh, God. I'm so excited for our community, for all of you guys that are with me here tonight. We have so much to look forward to. XRP says, all right, you'll have me till 1 a.m. and then I'm going to have to move to a lighter time zone. I know. We're running up. What are we at? Almost 10 o'clock? Yeah. Almost 1 a.m. on the East Coast. What time is it on the Gold Coast? Zach, get a couple chickens. I do need to get a couple chickens, don't I? This is your chance before actual congressional regulation. MetaMan, that is it. That's the point, right? Is that we see institutional money coming in now. It's not just us little crypto bros. Oh, I got a little bit to throw at XRP. I got a little bit to throw at some memes. No, it's like, hey, we need to settle 2.5 quadrillion. That's how the DTCC rolls up to the table. Can you imagine? You're sitting across. How can we help you with your business, utilizing DLT technology? Well, we need to move $2.5 quadrillion worth of security settlement next year. Actually, our business is growing, so we might even be doing more. And when we move to DLT, it gets even more efficient. So these markets are going to continue to grow and get bigger and bigger. That's the investment opportunity that we find ourselves looking at right now. Zach's crypto bros. I got to make fun of the crypto bros. I got to make fun of the Bitcoin bros. I got to make fun of the trust me bros. I got to make fun of the I got a deal bros. There's a lot of bros in this space that we got to call out. XRP, I saw that you shared that in the Discord group. Yeah, thank you. I had asked the Discord group earlier this morning what the next tactical wealth lesson should be on, and I got some good responses, and we're going to be dropping some more. We have so much content coming on the way. Educational content, tactical wealth lessons, business development, real estate, and we're looking at equity deals as well. You've been broed. If you get chickens, remember to get 3. They will lay twice as many eggs if you only have 2. It's a weird chemistry thing. Seriously, that's like the corn, right? It's the same thing for the corn, right? You got to have a couple rows so they can cross pollinate. I've had a couple gardens in my day. I used to raise pigs. You guys wouldn't believe how I got started. That was like one of the first investments I ever made. I bought some little tiny pigs, made them big and fat, and that was the best damn bacon you ever had. We were eating pork steaks. We were eating like kings. It was so great. So great. I'm all about it. Except shoveling that crap. That's not a pleasant thing. Stuart, thank you for another one, brother. My man. Stuart, I appreciate you, my friend. Bearable said the H-bar is his second wife. What's yours? I stay faithful, my man. Dominic, I stay true. XRP one and only. And wifey, stay loyal. Stay true. One wifey, one wifey, one reserve currency. It's very simple. My number 2, though, is XLM, if you are wondering. Number 2 is XLM, and then number 3 is XDC. Number 4 is actually Reaper Coin, I think. And then after that, I don't really keep track of. I have like a couple others, but that's basically it. XLM and a little bit of XDC, and all my tether that I had in my trading bag, I moved to XRP. Privacy coins, privacy coins. Good question. Oh, here you go. This is what I have for privacy coins. I don't do crypto privacy coins. For privacy coins, I have this. I thought that I had lost this one off my desk. My daughter keeps, losing these around the house. I have to keep going and finding them. Can't lose the silver in the couch. Talking about some serious bucks. But we're teaching them early, teaching them young, what real sound money is. Yeah, for me, I don't do the privacy coins. I think that they're going to get cracked down on. Whether or not they can successfully crack them down, I don't know. But I'm just at a point in my life, man, where it's I don't worry about any of that. I just focus on trying to make more money. I try to mitigate my taxes as best as I can, but I don't lose sleep over taxes, and I don't lose sleep over privacy stuff. I'm someone who makes content on a daily basis on TikTok, YouTube, and all the platforms. So my life is just transparent. There's no running from it, right? I'm not an anon on Twitter. I don't have a YouTube channel where I remain anonymous. I put my stupid face out here for better or for worse. Sometimes I wish I was one of those anon guys that's hidden, but for me, I like being able to connect with the community. I feel like it brings a special bond. When you guys can see my face, you see who I am. You see where I came from 2 years ago when I started making content. I've been transparent about my whole story for the last decade. When I started as a small business owner, now we've expanded here into the media company. And on a daily basis, I'm just trying to help folks understand the financial markets tied in with the current events, and I show what moves I'm making. That's it. It's really simple. And we got some community members that love us. We just achieved 400,000 community members across all platforms. So truly unbelievable. Been a long time coming building this thing up, and we're just getting started. I feel like, for the last couple years here, it's just been a fun little ride, but I feel like our gas tank is still full, and it's just still throttled down as we are here, 10 o'clock at night, still doing a live show after an hour and a half here. We better wrap up this session, I suppose. It's been an absolute pleasure, though. And like I said, I already got one that's going to be dropping tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Make sure you guys tune in for that one. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. 6 a.m. tomorrow, we got one dropping, and then I'll have a second video dropping along with potentially live streaming DC FinTech Week. It's going to be another big day tomorrow. We got a lot of content to cover. We're going to keep on bringing it to you guys. If you appreciate what we're doing, you know what to do. Everything else is over at my website, zachrector.com, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all. Thank you so much.